Hey folks, it sometimes feels as though everywhere and everyone from the latest Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, has been covered in detail, or just doesn't have much to talk about. However, there are always little things popping up, or stuff being looked at from a different angle, creating a new interest or reason to investigate, expanding the discussion potential, and one location that I've seen suggestions to look at in my comments, even back in Breath of the Wild's day, is the perplexingly mysterious location, Skull Lake. A small body of water in North Akala, in the bone-coloured rock also seen at the Breach of Demise, with the eagle-eye view of this lake forming a skull. Ever since this location was first discovered back in Breath of the Wild, it's drawn a lot of interest, from the large submerged flowers, identical to those seen by the horse god, to the seemingly natural rock formation forming a skull. It's fascinating to ponder on, but up until Tears of the Kingdom came out and expanded the location with a cave and depths area, there wasn't really anything else to say about it. But I feel the time is right to have a wee dig and see what mysteries are behind the location. If you could drop a cheeky wee like down below, that'd be highly appreciated, as well as subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack and drink, folks, and let's have a look at the deep mystery of Skull Lake. As mentioned, this odd fascination with Skull Lake began in Breath of the Wild. The unique but precise shape of the land is questionable. The large flowers in the water make some feel uneasy or unsettled. I am one of those people. I'm not quite sure how to describe why they do, but there's just a feeling of unease swimming above them. In Breath of the Wild, we could find a Sheikah shrine atop the large pillar that makes the right eye of the skull, but now in Tears of the Kingdom, the top of this pillar leads us down into a cave. Inside Skull Lake Cave, we can find bones. A lot of bones. Bones that are alive in the form of Stalkoblins. Bones that are very much dead in the form of my social life. And even large bones, like even large bones like those seen in the Gerudo Desert. And further into the main room of the cave, we find a Stalnox guarding the fierce deity mask in one of the Misco the Bandit altars. This is an interesting expansion on the location, as regardless of the time of day, these Stal enemies are always present in here, when normally they only appear in anime at night. Perhaps the lake possesses some sort of magical force upon these bones? Or am I working with some Zelda-furious charm and making stuff up? It's a cool thought, but obviously nothing to bank on. Just yet. On the left-hand eye that forms the skull, formerly just a wee island, we now find a chasm dropping down to the depths. And we enter the Akala House of Bones. A chilling name for a chilling location. We enter this opening room and find gloom-infused Stalkoblins, as well as a gloom Stalnox, all compact in this small space, which is like the cave high above, encased by these large ribcage bones, along with piles of decayed bones rotting on the ground. But why here? What caused all of these bones to congregate in this specific area? It can't be a coincidence that Skull Lake has a cave full of Stal enemies, bones on the ground and large bones along the walls, as well as the depths below containing the Akala House of Bones, housing the same bones as seen in the cave. On the surface level, we also have to question the base layers of this location. The large flowers seen in the water are intriguing, as the only other place we can find them is in the water around the horse god in Breath of the Wild, down in southern Hyrule near the Highland Stable, which is also one of very few locations where we can find the bone-like rock that makes up Skull Lake. Could there be any meaning to this? Perhaps it's a sign of being connected to the gods or something spiritual like, such as the horse god. Could Skull Lake have some sort of connection to a god or spiritual being? It's possible, but reaching a point about flowers submerged in the water isn't going to solidify this. It'll only solidify my pants, as it's really terrifying if I'm being honest. Something which might is the rock itself. The bone-coloured rock that shapes this unique landscape can also be seen at the Breach of Demise in central Hyrule, a land-split location which is believed to be a geographical reference to the literal Breach of Demise, an event told to us in the prologue of Skyward Sword. Long before the Kingdom of Hyrule was formed, a tribe of demons led by Demise, the Demon King, invaded the land and brutally attacked it. The goddess Hylia reacted by moving her people to the safe haven of the sky, forming Skyloft, and it's here we kick off the events of Skyward Sword. That famous event is referenced here in Hyrule through the landscape. The bone-reminiscent rock is pretty rare across the kingdom, which makes me think that there may be some sort of connection to the Breach of Demise. I mean, Demise and his demon army do fit pretty well with a skull, symbolically speaking. So what exactly do I think this place could be in terms of lore? If anything, I'll preface this conclusion by saying that at the end of the day, Skull Lake is most likely just a cool location that the developers thought looked really cool. But to put my theorist cap on and overthink this, I'd suggest that maybe, just maybe, Skull Lake is referring to one of the sites that Demise's demon army broke free from back in ancient times, and those previously mentioned flowers in the water, also seen exclusively at the horse god, could be a sign of connection to not a god, but rather the opposite, a demon. Think about it. The rock is identical to the Breach of Demise, a location referring to Demise breaching the surface and invading the land. This specific kind of rock is rarely seen across the kingdom. Perhaps in this instance, there's a connection. Skull Lake and its insides are filled with old skeletal enemies. Maybe it's a connected reference to the monsters and demons that once upon a time invaded the land, breaking through the surface. And if you believe the theory that the Breach of Demise is the actual site where Demise once broke through the crusts of the surface and invaded, then perhaps Skull Lake was also a site where the demon army broke the barriers and invaded the land. But that is obviously a massive reach and idea of my imagination, but a pretty cool one if I do say so myself. I think in reality that Skull Lake is just a phenomenally designed location, made unsettling by the bone white rock, quietness, oddly large flowers, and now expanded exploration in Tears of the Kingdom. And now I've finally covered it. After literal years of thinking about this intriguing location, I've made a video on it. I always put this video off because I felt as though despite it being really cool and mysterious, there just wasn't much to it, and that was just in Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom did expand it a bit, but honestly not massively. Which kinda led to this being a bit of a crackpot theory video, so enjoy. Whilst a very creative and imaginative approach, I think it's possible that there may be a connection to ancient times and the invasion of the demon army, long before Hyrule was ever established. Thanks a ton for watching. What do you think about the mysteries of Skull Lake and its potential origins? Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed, then dropping a wee like down below is highly appreciated, as well as subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. I'd highly recommend my new series, The Lore of Zelda's Famous Locations. I've already covered The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and The Wind Waker. Go check them out if you haven't already, and there will be voting for what to cover on episode 3 very soon. If you weren't already aware, I have channel memberships as well as a Patreon page, where you can financially back the channel if you'd like to. This form of support really helps to make my videos all the more possible, and any help on there is massively appreciated. With a very special thanks to new member David for supporting the channel and videos just like this one via Patreon. I offer a weekly inside scoop post, a shout out when you join, and your name at the end of my videos as seen on screen right now. All tiers receive the same goodies, but don't feel pressured or anything. Just watching my videos is already insanely awesome of you, and so appreciated. I've also got a Discord server which you can join to chat to myself and many other like-minded Zelda fans. You'll also find my socials down there too, if you'd like to keep up to date with me. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day or night, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.